Hey guys, Wonderboat here with the Community Clinic. Let's see what packs we got today. I don't really like sabers, to be honest with you. I do quite like tarantulas. Let's go with the aerial specialists. I mean, we did, I guess, technically get a new air unit. You know, if we make the Void Eye fly, we get some extra stats, you know? That could be valuable. But real talk, I do love aerial now with Abyss in the game. Very, very strong. Gets even healthier with that 13% health. And I'm an aggro player most of the time, and I love tarantulas on aggro, so not feeling too bad about this pack. We're against an elite specialist with fangs and saber-tooths, so I'm lacking DPS for sure to kill his saber-tooth, and he's just lacking chaff clear, so I'm expecting him to add something like, you know, hounds. For us, I'm actually just gonna go with I'm going to try out the Void Eye because that's actually the DPS I need, and they tank really well with the tarantulas. We'll take a nice Arbiter setup here, and we'll lock it in. So the reason why Void Eye pairs well with Tarantula is you always want to know the range of things, right? So tarantulas are sitting at 80, you can see it down here, and the Void Eyes are at 90, and these things are very squishy, whereas the tarantulas are very tanky. So they just pair super well. The tarantula clears the chaff, and the Void Eye deals the damage. And something important is to always have your chaff clear very close to your single target sniper damages. That way, you know, they don't get stuck on crawlers, chaff, that sort of thing. So he actually goes for a defensive formation and buys 2 level 2 crawlers as he is the elite specialist. Now, thankfully, our fangs are in pretty good positions here. Saber-tooths are actually really good against tarantulas. There's a clean 2 shots to kill them. And we can see it's locked on the right, very unfortunate, and our Void Eyes not doing a great job, but we are absolutely not favored on the first round. Elite Specialist does start with 100 extra resources, and, you know, it's pretty hard to prevent those locks. You know, I'm not super confident going into this since I'm still learning the Void Eye. It just came out, what, yesterday, so... but that's alright. We're all here to learn, right? We can learn this together. Let's see, I still need probably more chaff to keep my tarantulas alive. And looking at the cards here, this is like the greed option. Photon coating can be quite powerful. And this is like probably the tempo option that's most important here. And one of my favorite ways to defend against this spell on aggro is actually just to use it yourself. And usually I put it directly below the tower to protect the middle and the left simultaneously. So now I just have to worry about this, which technically does lose. The Fang would not be enough. And so I could put a Crawler here, and then I'm mostly okay. But, you know, I could also gamble, right? So, other things to think about. Do I need another Tarantula, right? He's up to quite a lot of chaff now. That's 5, with some of them being blue. So I'm going to say yes. I'll go up to 1 more Tarantula. We'll put it in the corner here, and we'll do another Fang. Fangs are going to be really important, nice and high up, because their only job is to tank, right? We just don't want to get locked on by this nasty saber-tooth, which is also close to leveling. So you can see here, he goes for the underground crawler threat. This is going to come down to RNG. If either of us took the defense enhancement, we would absolutely crush the other player. So that is something to keep in mind, just like breakpoints that are common. And yeah, he just has a lot of chaff. That's what I'm looking at right now. And plus my chaff clear is prone to dying from the saber-tooth, so it is really important that I keep buying tarantulas, eventually tech them with range. Looks like he won the crawler battle. And yeah, just, you know, make sure the chaff is cleared, and then I can focus on my Void Eyes. The Void Eyes do have a lot of DPS. Unfortunate tower debuff there. I would love to at least kill this. Okay, that's not too bad. I haven't used my specialist yet. It is the aerial spec here. And here we go, round 3, first unit reinforcements. So I mentioned chaff clear is important to me, and most of them are chaff clear here. Phantom's the one oddball out here. It represents like good tower pressure, like he can just put it here to kill my tower. So I am definitely thinking, how do I protect my tower? Now he bought another blue crawler. That's 3 level 2 crawlers. Now, I already have the chaff clear of the tarantulas, so it doesn't make a ton of sense for me to buy more chaff clear. But what I think I will do is take the hounds. They're a little weak to the badger, but I think it's okay. The reason I like the hounds here is because they actually are tanky against the saber teeth. So like if I can just keep my tarantulas alive, then I should be feeling a lot better. Just trying to basically disrupt his single target. And you know, they do represent some chaff clear as well. Now, in order to stop the Phantom Ray that could just be on the line, we could either fortify the tower or we could have like, you know, some stuff in front or a sentry missile. And I think what I want to do is still not quite buy the air stuff yet. We're going to go for a little bit of an extension. I call it an extension when you start building towards your weak side. And I think it's just important to play on all sides so we don't get screwed by spells. That's kind of one of the primary reasons. Let's just cover our flank here. We'll do 30 meters space between the wall. And that's because if he flanks me there, I want to have a space for a rhino to protect it. So he goes for the hounds as well, and he buys Stormcallers, which are level 2. So he's got even more crazy DPS for my tarantulas. And I think the main thing I'm lacking right now is crawlers to be streaming in. Because eventually my tarantulas just don't have anything in front, and so the Stormcallers will get the lock-ons, the sabers get the lock-ons. So yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable because I simultaneously need to like get my aerial specialist bonus going, while also adding crawlers. And of course I only have 3 deployments per turn, so... A bit tricky here. I think we're alright though. We're still sitting at above 4k. And it looks like our decision to extend by attacking the left worked out quite nice. We did overwhelm it there, and I think we have a pretty flexible board. So as long as we don't muck up this mid game here and get a nice air army online properly, we should be good. But yeah, it seems like he's going for quite the defensive posture here. Like, the storms are quite indicative of that, as is just the positioning of his units kind of behind the tower. So round 4, we get one of the best greed cards in the entire game, being the Efficient Light. That can almost pay you off in like 2 turns. And then makes you, you know, somewhere between 100 to 150 per turn, so quite powerful. And yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. In this particular case, I think I've got enough HP to feel good about it. Now, I mentioned needing crawlers, and this could be a good time to just get that done, and then the turn after I commit to my carry. Like, I would say right now I don't really have a carry. The math is really clean to get the range on the tarantulas, and by 2 chaff. Now, normally I like to do 3 deployments per turn with the card that I just took, so that you make an extra 50. But in this case, the money is just so right to get that range, which I think is important, that I'm going to go for that. Now, something important here is to not vertically overlap the Stormcallers. So I think about the game in columns, right? Like, we see this column here and this column here. And so I'm trying to keep my crawlers not getting splashed for free. So we'll lock that in. Hopefully it's all right there. He goes for steel balls. This represents some good pressure against my tarantulas. But hopefully with the additional chaff and the hounds we got and all that, it isn't too bad. Looks like our left, this tarantula here, could be in a rough spot. The other one's looking safe though. So yeah, it's a bit tricky because he's sort of buying many different units. And so it's like, I can't hard counter all of them at once, right? So in those type of situations, it's normally best to just focus on building a consistently strong board and not look for hard unit counters. And once again, I will remind us, we are the aerial specialist, and it's round 5 now, basically, so I absolutely need to use my specialist. I think Elite is kind of a strong specialist, so he's obviously had a pretty big advantage the whole game. Let's see, heavy armor, enhancement module. The other 2, not too relevant to me. I care about the stats of my Phoenixes. I don't think I want them mass-produced. So what we're going to do is probably take the heavy armor. It's just really good tank value. Like, I could enhancement module because I'm thinking about going into boats, which are really good with it, but let's play it a little bit safe here. And yeah, I'm nervous about this particular steel ball. I wonder if I can just put like a missile there to slow it down. Could be good. And okay, so the downside of going for boat is that I took the efficient light here. So maybe I should be going for something like Wraith maybe, since that is the biggest light unit. The issue is this doesn't have a large amount of DPS, which is kind of what my composition needs right now. But I just can't help it. Like, I want to make the 50 per turn, you know? That card is really powerful. So I want to deploy 3 things every turn to make use of that econ card. We still need lots of crawlers streaming in. And we'll just take the enhancement and pass the turn. So he's leaning into the Stormcallers with the Launcher Overload. I am pretty clumped up, so I don't mind that move from my opponent. I think one thing my opponent didn't think about too much here is anti-air, and it's kind of ironic because I am the aerial specialist. Maybe I bamboozled him by not buying air earlier, but now he's in a little bit of a tough situation. Like, I've already won the round. I don't think he has upshoot aside from these level 2 fangs. So yeah, that's great. And he didn't take the efficient light manufacturing either, so we have an economic edge in that sense. And also you get more experience for killing higher leveled units. So like all these level 2s feed a lot of experience. So these wraiths might even level. And yeah, at this point, like I would love to stay into wraiths and maybe phoenixes. I would love to get giants in theory, but again, with this card, I just don't think I should. Maybe at some point it's fine, but yeah, those 2 wraith levels indicate to me I can carry with them. Now the cards here are interesting because melters are kind of good against wraiths. This could be a good option for them. I guess with elite specialists though, they're going to be really expensive. And Wasp Swarm currently would get me here. So I do need to protect against that. There's also the underground, so like double Collins are a little scary. And honestly, I don't mind trying it for myself, but the thing is, Laser Sight is very good on Wraiths. And the reason why is that Wraiths find 4 unique targets with their weapons, and so the more range you give them, the more different targets they'll shoot at, which can increase their DPS sometimes, since they don't overshoot. Or overkill, rather. So I'm going to go for the Greed option instead of the Wasp Summon. And let's just create some chaos in the middle here. Sometimes it's best to just not try and take towers, but just do that. But on the other hand, I need to defend myself. So, never mind. We'll level up the Fang literally just to kill the Wasp in case he does it like here. Since the level 1, Fang does not actually beat the Wasp drop. We'll range our Wraiths. We'll buy 1 more. Just make a left side attack here. And then probably just 2 chaff. We do got to keep buying crawlers. They are extremely important with wraiths, as wraiths are somewhat fragile. We have the enhancements, so does he. So our crawlers once again have an RNG battle. We do have 3 reinforcements and the Fang. Yeah, we're good. He goes for melters. I did mention that possibility. And our greedy corner wraith did immediately die. And he has laser sight on it. So this represents a new problem for us because this melter has 80 or 70,000 HP, and none of my units are capable of dishing out that amount of damage. That means we need a new unit to our roster. Something we could do is like Abyss, since we would be able to unlock it for free, and it has great single target damage. It actually combos well with Wraith as well, because they can summon them, which I already have text on them and all that. So that feels like a strong option. Boats would also work. One of the default lines I would go for is just to buy my own melters or go into phoenixes. But, you know, paying for the melter unlock cost doesn't make sense when I can just go air. So yeah, I think we'll go for that. We'll see if we have good Abyss pulls. They are 7x7. I don't think I have one, unfortunately. We do get unit reinforcements, though. Do these help us? So fortresses are not that good into melters. Sandworms are okay, but not the best. Arclights, I don't really need more clear. And rhinos die to melters. So basically I'm looking at this and I'm saying it's a sell. It's a sell for me. For him, I mean, hard to say. You know, even more Arclights are kind of always good on defense. Just more bodies, so I could be expecting something like that. About this Wraith, I could protect it with like a chaff here, or I could like mobile beacon it away. Like there's, like it has laser sight, so it's pretty long range. I think I'm just gonna beacon it away. Hopefully it works. And yeah, I mentioned I don't think I have the hole there, unfortunately, which means I can't really go for Abyss. Kind of feels bad. So I guess we try boats. Let's see. I kind of want them blue, but I don't know. I think the techs are really important, so we'll just buy 2 of them. And we'll loan now. It's round 7. We have tons of econ. And we'll do launcher plus range on the same turn. This is just like the techs that you need to combat melters, basically. I'll go for a missile here. Maybe speed was better, but got a little bit low on time here. See if the mobile beacon works out, because if it doesn't, then I just won't do that next turn. Yeah, I messed it up. Maybe it's because he temped range. Yeah, I didn't think about that 15 range. Ooh, our sentry missile was pretty good near the tower there. As long as we have enough chaff in front, our boats should be able to get the lock-ons. And yeah, boats are quite good against melters, honestly. Like, they're both capable of killing each other, so it's just about who can win the chaff war, so not a bad situation to be in. Now, my techs don't have Wasp Summon, unfortunately. That can be quite good against the melters. But that's alright. So we're on the board. That's good. And looking at the cards here, Lightning Storm, round 8. Probably unskippable, especially for myself. I'm rather low on health here. Like, Advanced Shield is very good as well. But yeah, I think you just got a tempo. We'll do it where the main action is. It's good to click your units and check if they're doing well. Like, this Wraith's doing well. We know this Wraith didn't do good. We'll just get out of him. We have Tarantulas anyways for chaff clear. This Wraith did well, 50,000 damage. The boats did amazing, of course. And yeah, we'll do a bubble to respect the Lightning Storm. Like, I don't know how much it'll do. But, I mean, late game by bubbles, generally a good idea. As well as loading in temp range, temp speed. So we'll start with that. I'm also, like, cheesable by a Phoenix, so it's always good to prevent that with a missile. And I would love another boat, can't afford it, so you know what? We're going to make use of our light manufacturing and just more crawlers. I think he's going to Lightning Storm left, so we can do these crawlers, like, on the left, I guess. We can do, like, a 1 here. The idea behind that one on the left is that it's going to distract the melter, of course, but if he goes for barrage, which he doesn't run, it would have protected my bubbles, but yeah, neither here nor there, I suppose. So he doesn't go for Lightning Storm. Very interesting. I guess he has enough health that he's saying, I can lose the round. So he's going to be, you know, economically ahead of me since I had to invest that. It will result in me probably winning the round, but, you know, once again, he's got the HP to spare, right? So I think that's a sound move from him. And at this point, I think it's just an arms race. I'm going to be going into more boats. He's got all the melters, and he's summoning crawlers, which, you know, pretty good against boats, I suppose. So I think it's anybody's game. I feel like maybe I'm scaling a little bit better. I feel like boats are one of the better Exodia comps in the game right now. And of course, I did like unlock them for free and they have extra stats. I've made a lot of money from my efficient light as well. Now he gets marksman against my boats. I don't think that matters when he's in melters, probably. I think it's just who locks onto who. Therefore, it's a chaff battle. And if it's a chaff battle, we're both probably looking at these guys here. And honestly, they're very similar in efficacy. Yeah, I really don't think there's a strong difference. I'll go for sledges. They're 50 cheaper and there's 2 more bodies. And it might just come down to bodies for my position. Maybe not the case for him, but for us, I think that's the case. So they have to be pretty high. Their goal is literally just to tank. And checking the numbers here, like our boats did amazing. We'll get the loans out of the way. And let's see. We definitely need more boats. I would love for them to be white, but... And we're going to start selling whatever we think's bad. Like, I think these Void Eyes, unfortunately, not very good. And for the boat positioning, I'm just looking for safe, like, holes, I guess. Like, you know, 5x5 areas. Another thing that's good late game, by the way, are these enhancements. Don't sleep on them. They are so incredibly strong. But I'll do them next turn. I think what I want here is Subterranean Blitz and taking some crawler levels. Because I mentioned this is a chaff battle. And, you know, having more damage will let me kill the melters quicker with my boats. But I think just having chaff alive could be stronger. Another thing to watch for here is, do my boats need splash, right? That's like the final tech I would give them. It would hurt their DPS, but if I feel like I'm not quite clearing the chaff well enough, that would be a good move. Now, he has a ton of melters. This is kind of insane. We may be behind in the arms race, but we'll see. I think it's a close game. I feel like he's going to kill my right side here, but maybe I get tower on the left. Oh, killing that melter was amazing. Okay, okay. That was very fortunate how that end of the battle played out. So I'm actually ahead in HP by quite a bit after this round now. And yeah, I really think this is just a chaff war. I didn't think I had a DPS issue of any kind. Boats are looking pretty good. Now the cards here, not super impactful. The main thing I'm thinking about is, like, can he cheese me? Like, I don't want to lose my towers and then lose the game, right? I'll just go for the Rhino Assault and just kill a few sledges here. When they land, they do, like, kill the things, like, they trade HP with the things beneath them. And then I'm not 100% sure if I can lose to the drops, so we'll just, like, do a couple missiles to be safe. We should be fine, but, like, just in case. And finally, I will go for this, like, distracting. What unit is that? That is a Fang. Do an underground up there. Low and speed range, of course, really important. This is like a very much late game scenario here. I like taking the boats to level 2 maybe, but maybe it's not needed. And I think critically here, it may be time for the splash on the tarantulas. And another thing I think that's important here is to finally address his Stormcallers. You just buy anti-missiles, you know, don't be afraid in the late game to buy them. And probably just more crawlers, honestly. We can do them nice and late, I think. They help defend against his possible cheeses and all that. And then we'll take health 2. The reason why is because I have a bunch of crawlers with Subterranean, and that just gives them extremely good tank value here. Like, kind of my goal is just, he bought too many melters, and so I'm saying, okay, I'll respond by buying too many crawlers, right? Like, I already have the single target that I need. And so if I just win the chaff war that hard, it should just be more efficient than me being like, I'll buy 1 boat per melter, right? Like, that just might not be the right line compared to this sort of annoying distraction type playstyle. So it's a little hard to see what's going on because they're underground, but yeah, it looks like it was too much chaff for him. So I think his mistake was just going a little bit too hard into the melters. But otherwise, he played that pretty well, I thought. I just took a little bit too long to get into my aerial specialization, probably. It's not my most played SPC, but, you know, it's good for us to get some practice with that. Showcase its power, though, right? Like, we played the Wraiths, we played the Boats, didn't have to pay a single unlock, tons of stats, and we started with almost 5k HP, so feeling good about that. This has been Wonderboat with the Community Clinic. Thanks for watching.